All right, guys, we have my new 2025 Phoenix Elite 2. Just got it a couple weeks ago, so we're gonna pull it out of the shop here and show you guys all the bells and whistles on this thing, exactly how I have it rigged. It's a sweet boat. If you saw my video last year, it's not much different, a little bit different, a couple things different, but man, I'm telling you, I ordered the same boat every year. I'm so in love with it. So we're gonna take it out and show you guys. Let's start up here on the front end of the boat, because this is actually a little bit different than last year. So last year I started off with a 12-inch forward-facing unit, active target unit from Lowrance, and I switched over to a 16, and I just can't see myself going back now. The 16 it's really, really nice. I would suggest if you have a 12, stick with your 12. Don't get in a boat that has a 16. Don't try and put one on your boat, because once you go to a 16, you're not gonna wanna go back. But I also had my Solix mounted over here on the deck last year. And this year I went with the Phoenix, actually makes this mount themselves. So these are Bass Boat Technologies gimbal brackets, but the mount under here that's on this fiberglass shroud is from Phoenix. And I wanna show you guys, like, I can literally rock the truck and boat rock solid with this thing. I love that fiberglass shroud. It just makes everything super tight, rock solid. Definitely stoked with the way that this turned out. So we do have a Lowrance 12 right here, HDS Pro, and I use this for mapping and also for scout mode. I started to use that quite a bit last year. And then the Solix over there is pretty much just for mapping, a little bit of 2D. But with our rules now on Major League Fishing, only being able to use forward-facing sonar for one period, there's going to be a lot of times I have both of these units turned off, really 66% of the year during the tournament season. I'll have those turned off and I'll be relying on mapping and 2D only. So I am excited about that. That is pretty cool. Now, as far as the trolling motor goes, definitely went with the Move again. That's the Power Pole Move 45-inch ZR, and it's the black one. That trolling motor was fantastic last year. I love how quiet it is, love how much power it has, and I love how well it comes through the grass. So those are my favorite thing, honestly, even though I mentioned all that, is how small it is on the front of the boat and how easy it is for me to see over the top of everything. That has made a huge difference, at least in visibility driving the boat. So as we go back, you can notice my colors are different this year. I actually have this boat pre-sold to a friend of mine in Florida, and he picked the colors out. I hope that's not bad luck, because I have had a white boat forever. So Scoob, if I don't catch him this year, it's your fault, dude. I love my white boats, but I thought this one actually turned out pretty good. And he's got a charcoal matte forward, so it's gonna look really good behind that thing. Back here, of course, we have the fiberglass shroud. Here, this is new compared to last year. Again, I love that fiberglass. No vinyl plastic or anything up there. It's really clean and it's just rock solid. So here we have a Solix 12, we have a HDS 12, a lot going on, guys, I know, just bear with me, and an Apex 13. And what I've got going on here is this is mapping only on the Lowrance. So this side unit I'll only use really for practice on new bodies of water, just to be able to show a different map, right? If I want Navionics, if I want to use shaded relief, Google Earth, any of those things, I can't do those. I could do Navionics on a Humminbird, but not, you know, shaded relief or Google Earth. So that's really why I have this here. When you're trying to break down a lake with 2 days of practice and you don't know it very well, not that familiar with it, mapping is a big key to doing that. So the Solix, again, is mapping. I still love Lake Master. That's what we use that unit for, and 2D when I'm running. So when I run, I can still have depth, contour, and all that stuff. And then the Apex is, of course, my side imaging and down imaging unit. The reason I run an Apex over the Solix, which Humminbird just announced their new Explorer series, but the reason I run the Apex is because it has 2 Ethernet ports. And the deal with that is I can run a cord to this unit and a cord to my Solix up front. They can all share mapping together because they're connected through one cord. I don't have them go through a box. I always had problems with those boxes. So if you have issues with your Humminbirds, might be something you want to think about. But being able to have 2 Ethernet ports run just cords, no boxes, I feel like the units talk a lot cleaner. There's not as much interference in them. They don't try and do like crazy stuff. Got the new stitching pattern in the seats here. Like the way that turned out, a little bit dirty. I think I got some drum slime on there. Been catching a bunch of drum on Guntersville lately. If you're out here scoping, you're gonna catch drum. We went with 10-foot power pole blades. Of course, ran these last year for the first time. And kind of like the 16 on Active Target, I feel like now that I've ran 10-foot power pole blades, I don't feel like I'll ever go back to 8s. Being able to hold myself in a little bit deeper water, that 7 to 9 foot range, was really critical in me catching some extra fish last year on tour. So I definitely love these 10-foot blades. Of course, the Yamaha Show, and back here in the battery compartment, you guys are gonna love how clean this is. It's so simple. We have a power pole charge on the far wall over there, 2 36-volt batteries, MillerTech, 120 amp hours total. Those are ran in parallel. We have 235 amp hour 12-volt lithium MillerTechs. These are for graphs only. So all my electronics are ran off of those 2 batteries. And then we have 1 AGM Group 31 cranking battery. So that is just gonna start the big motor, run my live wells, all that stuff. I'll use a single bank charger for that AGM. I just love the reliability of an AGM as a cranking battery, and Yamaha, they recommend it. They don't recommend running lithium for their cranking. So if you guys want the best locks out there on the market, check out Bolt Locks. It remembers your truck key the very first time you use it, so you only need 1 key for all your locks. I use them on my locker bar, my trailer hitch, and the trailer tongue, and even my spare tire. But yeah, the battery setup, I ran that exact same setup last year. For the most part, I ran one bigger 12-volt battery, but those batteries were unbelievable. Absolutely love them. All right, so let me show you guys why I run the Elite 2. And if you watched my video last year, you'll know this, but I really love having 2 separate compartments here rather than one big one. It's just total personal preference thing. The other thing it does is give me a full-size rod locker here, so a ton of storage here. But I use the tackle sliding tray in this box, and that acts as my day box. And then I can put all kinds of other stuff in this one. I just love the 2 separate boxes and the full rod locker. That's why I run an Elite 2. I always get questions about that. Elite, regular Elite's great, XE is great, they're all great. The new 721 ZXL is phenomenal. It's a single box, and it's really probably the best bang for your buck if you're looking at a Phoenix. All right, so that's the boat. That's my 2025 rig. I'm super pumped with this thing. This is my, I believe, 11th Phoenix Yamaha since 2015. And hopefully Scoob, my buddy down in Florida, doesn't mess me up with these colors, but I'm really looking forward to getting out there. Lake Conroe is our first event in January for the BPT, and it's gonna be a good year. Looking forward to it. Thanks for watching, guys.